Hello there, my name is Grayman, and in today's video I'm going to teach you the past continuous tense. The past continuous tense has got another name, past progressive tense, either past progressive tense or continuous. So it's the same thing. If you say past continuous tense or past progressive tense, it's the same thing. So what do we use it for? We use the past progressive or the past continuous tense to talk about an action happened in the past in a specific time. I will make it clear by doing this. This is the timeline. This is the future. This is the present, and this is the past here. When we talk about past continuous, it happened somewhere here. It started here, for instance, continued here, and finished. It happened in the past, in a specific time, and finished. And we use it in order to talk about two actions that happened in the past. One action was happening, the other action interrupted it. Okay? The other way we use it, two actions happen at the same time. That's when we use the past continuous tense, we use it to talk about an action happened in the past in a specific time and finished. I'm sorry. And to talk about two actions. One action happened while it was happening in the past, interrupted by another actions. Or two actions are happening at the same time. We're going to detail all that in a minute. But then the question is that, how come it is past and at the same time it is continuous or progressive? How should we know that? If you would see was or were, that means it is past. I want you to go back and watch my video about the helping verb to be. I detailed how to make the past and the present of verb to be, so this will be very clear to you. And what it is, progressive or continuous, that means it has got ing in the verb. If you go back and watch the present continuous or the present progressive tense, I talked about the rule how to add the ing to the verb. Okay? Now let's look at the examples. Example number 1. Let's read it together. He was writing an email when the phone rang. Two actions. The long action is here. He was writing an email here. He started writing an email here. Up to here, he was writing an email. What happened? The phone rang. The phone rang. Two actions. One is long. That would be in the past continuous. It is past because it has got was. It is continuous because it has got ing. And here, look at this one. The phone rang. Rang is the past of ring. Okay, the phone rang. The long action, he was writing an email, long, and then the phone rang. Can we write this sentence differently? Yes. When the phone rang, comma. When the phone rang, comma. Then we add this. He was writing an email. When the phone rang, he was writing an email. Okay? So this is the same sentence. The difference is that here we start with the when. Let's look at this one. While he was writing, past. Writing, progressive. Past, progressive. While he was writing an email, what happened? The phone rang. It's the same thing there. But the difference is here we used when and here we use while. This is the time expression while. I wanted to draw your attention to a very important point. If you use while, then you have to add the present continuous tense after while. So while he was writing. So while goes with the continuous. Okay, if you use when here, when the phone rang, use the past simple here. Usually we use two tenses, the past continuous and the past simple. Okay, so here, while he was writing an email, what happened? The phone rang. The phone rang. Okay, let's look at this number 1, number 2. I've written extra one here. This number 3. Now let's look at this. I was preparing dinner while Tom was working upstairs. These are two different actions. The first one, I was, past, preparing, continuous. I was preparing dinner. Preparing dinner does not happen just in a minute. It takes maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour or so. So while I was preparing dinner, so here, it takes place from here to here. While I was preparing dinner, what happened? Tom is another guy, my friend, was working. Was is past and working is present progressive or present continuous. So Tom was working. Two actions happening at the same time in the past. Both of them are past continuous and past continuous. I was preparing dinner while Tom was working upstairs. Okay? Let's look at this one here. Notice this is a question. This is a question. When you came home, was she cooking? So when you came home, when you came home, when associated or connected with the past simple, as I said earlier. So when you came home, that's a question. Was she, I put was here at the beginning of the sentence, was she cooking? That's a question. Okay? That's how we form questions with the past continuous. Let's look at this one. This number 4. Let's look at number 5. Where were you standing? Like where, this is a question about a place. In what place? Where were you standing? This is past. The past of are is where. And the past of is or is was. So here, where were, this is past. Where were you, sorry, I didn't add this. Where were you standing? Where were you standing when the fire started? So two things. The first one, where were you standing? So that was happening for a while. While you were standing there, something had happened. The fire started. So this is, when the fire, this is connected with started past. Okay? The last one, that's number 6. Why wasn't she waiting at the meeting point? So why wasn't she waiting? So if you look at wasn't here, negative. She takes was, and then here shows continuous. Why wasn't she waiting at the meeting point? So is that clear? I hope so. If you have any question, you can write your comments, write your questions. I will be able to respond to your questions. But this is all about past continuous. And I would like to point to one main thing. The past continuous could be so difficult to many speakers, like the ESL speakers, because in so many languages around the world, the past continuous is not there in these languages. That's why sometimes it's so hard for non-English speakers to use the past continuous tense. Once again, my name is Grayman, and I would like to invite you to join my channel, subscribe, activate the bell to get the new videos, and give me a thumb up if you like my video. Bye-bye.